got your propane tank here. Doesn't come off or anything, so whenever you need to fill it up, just drive it to an RV dealership or like U-Haul and different things like that, and they'll fill it up for you.
All right, so show it. Is there any movable parts in there?
Oh yeah, just to turn the propane on and off is right here. Twist it off, turn it on.
How much does it hold?
Okay, we don't need to know that, Pebble. We can either read it or...
I didn't know if you knew offhand.
So when we go to fill that up, we go where, and do we have any hoses, or do they have everything?
Nope, it's all connected in there. They'll know what to do. Yeah, you just go there and they fill it on up.
So RV place or where else?
Or U-Haul.
U-Haul, heavy construction, places that rent heavy construction, a lot of those places, you know, anywhere they'll fill propane.
Anyone that'll fill an LP tank.
Is there a gauge to know if it's
Yeah, there's
higher?
a gauge on it right here.
So you have to come out and look at the gauge?
Yep, there's a gauge right there. And it will go boop, 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 on down as you use it.
So if we're dry camping and we're in 20-degree weather and we've got the heaters on, about how long is that going to run?
I have no idea.
Okay, got that one.
Trial and error.
Yep.
When you don't have any more heat, start a fire.
Put some more clothes on.
Bring a space heater with you.
Space heater with you?
Yep.
So there's no way to bring another tank and hook it up?
You can get an adapter that will adapt onto that for an overstay to where you can hook like a 20 or 30 pound bottle up to it.
Okay. Probably won't, just trying to figure out what's what, so very good.
We're virgins, so we're asking stupid questions.
No, that's fine. There are no stupid questions, just the ones you don't ask.
Don't give us time.
You haven't met us yet.
But yeah, basically, yeah, I mean, that propane tank will last you quite a while. You know, even if you had the furnace on for a week probably all the time, it would probably not, you know, drain that empty,
So we keep an eye on it, and we come back and it's low, then we fill it up just like the gas tank.
Yeah.
Right?
Right here's the water heater. Gas and electric, all the switches are inside. The only thing you have to do to this thing outside is this right here, and it's the plug. It's the water heater plug. It's basically, you put your plug in there so you can fill the water heater.
Put it in where now?
Put it in the water heater hole.
There's a 15/16 socket is what you're gonna need, and I recommend getting an extension so you don't bust your knuckles on the metal surround, but the reason there's a plug on it is because you want to drain it after every camping trip. The water, if it doesn't move around after a certain amount of time, it has the opportunity of becoming stagnant, smelling like rotten eggs. So basically what you do is when you pull it out of storage, you're gonna put your water heater plug in, go inside and turn the hot side of the kitchen faucet on, and then turn your water on. And basically all the air you trapped in the water heater is gonna get pushed out of the kitchen faucet. Then it's gonna be like an air-water mixture, and then finally a nice smooth flow of water, like you get at the house.
So that'll be part of the startup procedures.
Yep.
Every time you're gonna hit the chunk.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that we're gonna drain this out somewhere else, and this is just a...
Nope, this is where you're gonna drain it to.
So the water's gonna come out of there?
Yep,
Yes.
so yeah, let me go through it, and then if I didn't answer your question, then ask. So then, you know, you put your plug in, turn the hot side kitchen faucet on, turn your water on, either via the water pump inside or turn the water on outside, and then it's gonna push all the air out. Once all the air out, it's gonna be a constant flow of water like you get at the house. That means it's full and ready to be turned on. 2 switches inside, which we'll go over once we get in there, and it's gonna be a gas switch or an electric switch. And then you use the water heater, use the camper, all that jazz. When you guys get ready to leave the campsite, you're gonna turn your water off, turn your hot side of the kitchen faucet back on, which is gonna purge all the water pressure out of the water heater. So that way when you take that plug out, it doesn't blast a bunch of hot water all over you. You leave that plug out, leave it right there, drive on down the road like this. It's just gonna glug out the 6 gallons of hot water. You wanna make sure that you turn off the water heater too before you take that plug out. The reason we're so adamant to making sure that this is full of water before you turn it on is because the heating element inside, you got about 30 seconds. If water is not surrounding the heating element, it basically will break itself in half because it gets so hot. It needs the water to cool it down, and then it heats up the water. So that's why we're always adamant to make sure 100% that water's in the water heater before you kick it on. So if you get a nice smooth flow of water coming through the kitchen faucet, you know that all the air's out of the water heater and it's full and ready to rock and roll. If you are extra cautious and weary, you can pop this off. This is a pop-off valve just like a water heater at the house. You pop that, water comes out. Water is obviously past the heating element and all right to turn on. Any questions?
What's your name?
Harold.
Harold.
Yep.
Hi, Harold.
Hello.
It's Maud. Harold and Maud, remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Storage inside here. Got a basically just like a 110 outlet and a light that you have to manually turn off. Furnace is here. When it's on, just be cautious. It blows out hot air here and it stays warm shortly after. So if any kind of young kids are playing around, just warn them that it does get hot. Backside here is the backside refrigerator. Mostly for me to get to work on and things like that, but every once in a while it's a good idea to check it and maybe blow out some dust and debris because it is open to the elements. Back in here is just some more storage. You got outside speaker here and an outside speaker also by the front door. And then you do have a gas line here. So this is to hook up like an outside grill or things like that. And anything that has a quick disconnect that runs on gas, and basically you just open it, put in your quick disconnect, make sure it's locked in, and then this valve right here that moves, you want to make sure that it is flowing with the gas line. If not, gas will not come out. You want to make sure this is off, this is on.
Do it again.
This is off, this is on.
It's in line with.
Yep, in line. So then that way, if you basically if you get it all hooked up and try to light the grill and it doesn't light, just make sure that that's in line with it.
And of course, that is pulling from the tank we saw up front, right?
Yep. Inside here is more storage.
Does that go all the way through?
It does not.
Really?
Goes all the way to the wall.
Yep.
We have a bed there, I think, that interferes with it.
Yeah, bed and I think some water lines and different things like that. You got a ladder on the back, which is nice. We recommend getting up on the roof twice a year. At the beginning and the end of every camping season. So like springtime, when you go to de-winterize it, get up on the roof and wash it and check the durability of the physical roof and the sealant up there. And then whenever you winterize it for wintertime, wash it again to make sure nothing happened during the summer months that needs to be taken care of before a bunch of ice and snow and water sit on top of it. If you ever see any kind of damage up there, either from the seals or the roof or anything like that, you want to clean it with denatured alcohol and then put a product called Dicor on top of it. It's a self-leveling adhesive to where if you see a bunch of like spider cracks or this and that on the sealant up there, clean it. I do little circle motions to put a big old glob of it on there. It'll actually sink and fall into all the cuts and cracks and then level off on top.
Is there a certain temperature